Hi, Beetle Eddie here. I want to take a discussion with you. Some people get very offended by this discussion, some not. But I want to just do it for fun. Now, yesterday, um, Two Legs had a special show, a special live show, where they had people calling in. I called in and decided to ask this question. I asked, I asked why on the Magical Mystery Tour Paul was wearing a black carnation, and the rest of the Beatles were wearing red carnations. And he was asked, "Why weren't you wearing a red carnation?" So his answer was that they ran out of red ones. But if you see the movie, Magical Mystery Tour movie, you will see that in the film, he's carrying a basket full of red carnations. So why did he lie? I don't know. Call it a white lie, call it a big lie. I don't know what you want to call it, but why did he lie? Really didn't get an answer. But, Joe Mayo was on the panel, and so was Beatley Tone. And Joe Mayo said he doesn't really like to talk about the Paul's dead thing, but he doesn't mind discussing it. He doesn't like to hear that people think that Paul is dead, really think that. That he doesn't want to discuss. But he doesn't mind discussing the clues and all that. And Billy Tone kind of even likes to talk about it. And I think, I don't know, maybe Tom also didn't mind. But my question is, so I want to just specify to you that I think in my heart and in my soul, I believe 100%, 100%, not 99%, not 98%, 100% that Paul McCartney is the same Paul McCartney that of when he was born on June 18th, 1942. I don't believe he ever died. And, he should live to 100, 120, even more, and be healthy. I don't believe he ever died and was replaced. I don't believe that for a minute. By the way, if it was any bit possible that he was replaced, that he died and was replaced, the new guy is the one who made Hey Jude and all the great songs. Maybe I'm amazed. All the great songs, Let It Be, and Lady Madonna. You know what? I think the later Paul from 68 on is the better composer. So if he was replaced, which 100% I don't think so, then the new guy is even better than the old guy. He plays bass just as well, plays all the instruments just as well, has his mannerisms. He didn't die. He's the same Paul as he was when he was born. But I do think, and not many people say this. Some people just say, "Oh, come on, no, he never died, and this was that." There's nothing to discuss. And the clues, a lot of people say the clues are only coincidental. They're coincidental, but I say a little different. I believe that the clues were put there deliberately. You have to understand, Brian Epstein died, and the Beatles were going downhill since then. They wanted to do something. They stopped touring. And Brian Epstein died. So what could they do? Just make another record? Time to make another record? So they want to do a little extra. So my total belief is that they took the most popular Beatle, and believe me, he is the most popular Beatle, especially with the girls. They took the most popular Beatle and made up a story that he died and he was replaced by someone else. They had a look-alike contest, and they took the winner of the look-alike contest and did plastic surgery on him, make him look more like him. Not only did they make him look like him, they gave him Paul McCartney's talent. Which I do not believe at all. That story never happened, but I do believe that the clues were put there deliberately by the Beatles and kept a secret for when they knew that this was going to be their last album, Abbey Road. Now get it like leaked out that there's a rumor, there's clues that Paul McCartney's dead. Now, how can I prove this to you? I can't prove it to you. Everyone has their own opinion. But I would say it's too much coincidence. There's too many coincidences. For example, look at this shirt. You know what this shirt is? This shirt is Beatles 65. Now, the story is that Paul McCartney died in 1967, and Beatles 65 is 1965. But even here, Paul McCartney is different. Why is Paul McCartney always different? Here, the three Beatles is George, Ringo, and John, and they're all sitting down. Paul is standing. Why the difference? I don't know. But there's a difference. Okay, so that's 65. Okay, now, in 1966, and these were before the official clues really ever happened, when they made Yesterday and Today, with the bloody babies and all that. That was supposed to be a clue. They're bloody babies, like poured a baby face, and here's babies with blood all over them, and all that. The butcher thing. So now, okay, the butcher thing gets thrown out. They can't use that, so they cover it up, and they make the Beatles with a different cover. And where is Paul? Paul is in a suitcase. And the best of the Beatles are standing around him or sitting around him. Paul's in a suitcase. Now, if you take the suitcase and you turn it around, some people say it looks like he's in a coffin. Why is Paul different? Always different. Okay. Now, of course, when it really happened, the clues really happened, started Sgt. Pepper. That's where you got, the funeral procession, and you got the bass guitar in the grave, spelling out Paul. And you have Paul's head turned around in the back cover with George pointing Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock. That they claim that's when it started. That's when the accident was. Why is Paul... Let me ask you this. Why is Paul in the back cover, why does he have his head turned around? Why are the other three Beatles looking straight and he has his head turned around? Why is he different? Why is he different in everything? The Magical Mystery Tour, the Beatles all had red carnations. Paul had a black one. They asked him in the interview why he had a black carnation. And he said they ran out of red. Now, if you watch the movie, you'll see he's carrying a basket with all red carnations, full of red carnations. So they didn't run out. They didn't run out of red carnations. That was a lie. That was a made-up story. Why different? Why is Paul different? Why is he wearing a black carnation and the other Beatles are wearing red? Okay. Now, in the White Album, you have Glass Onion. And here, Lennon says, here's another clue for you all. The walrus was Paul. Now, John says that's John's way. I mean, Joe Mayo was saying yesterday that that's John's way of saying, you know, you're always trying to analyze the songs, what they mean. That's why I made I Am the Walrus, which was a bunch of gibberish. And so here's another clue for you all. The Walrus was Paul. This is something you think about. This is something you could think about. But I want to remind Joe, I want to tell him that that's the same album that had Revolution 9, in which if it's here number 9, and you do it backwards, it says, turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man. That's really freaky. That's crazy. In the same album, after a certain song was Quiet Baby Cry, well, I'm so tired, I forgot what song it was. So John says, Paul's dead, man. Miss him. That's what if it's backwards. Paul's dead, man. Miss him. Or in Strawberry Fields Forever, I buried Paul. What's the explanation? I buried Paul's guitar. Or he says, I didn't say I buried Paul. I said cranberry sauce. If you listen closely, it really does sound like I buried Paul. And one of his explanations was that he buried his guitar, because his guitar was getting a little loud. Okay. And Let It Be. All the Beatles are clean-shaven. Paul's got a beard. And Abbey Road. Well, Abbey Road is the one that they said, oh, this is cool for that 21IF. The license plate said that he would be 28 if he was alive. 28 if he was alive. Now people say, but he's only 27. So another explanation is when he was in a womb of his mother, if you go 9 months earlier, 9 months earlier, he's 28. Because in a lot of countries, the age of a person starts at conception, not at when he comes out of the womb, but when he becomes a fetus. Okay. So, I'm not saying, again, I believe 100% Paul McCartney is Paul McCartney. It's the same Paul McCartney. He's an 82-and-a-half-year-old Paul McCartney. He's the same Paul McCartney that he was when he was born on June 18th, 1942. He's the same Paul McCartney when he was on Ed Sullivan in 1964. He's the same Paul McCartney from Sgt. Pepper. He's the same Paul McCartney from Wings. He's the same Paul McCartney from his new band. He never died. He was born. He didn't die yet. And lived to be ripe old age of 100 plus. And this is my thoughts. It was my thoughts that it was done for publicity. It was done deliberately for publicity. That's my thoughts. And everyone said, okay, now we believe the journalist found Paul McCartney in Scotland in 1969. First, Paul threw them out, and then he said, okay, I'll talk to you. Because he didn't want, any bad publicity. So they asked him if he's alive, and he said, yes, he is. So you got to believe it, that he's alive. Yeah, I believe it. I don't believe he died. I don't believe that guy died. I don't believe Paul McCartney died. There's no Billy Shears. There's no Billy Campbell. There's only Paul McCartney. All right, so those are my thoughts. Like I say, all these things, too many coincidences to be just a coincidence. It's too many. So my feeling, it was done deliberately. I like to know your guys' feelings. What do you think? And I don't want to hear, oh, I think he really died. That I don't want to hear. Just, I want to know from you if you think it was done deliberately. And for publicity, just like I think. All right. Like, I agree with Joe Mayo. I don't want to hear, oh, Paul's dead. Paul's dead. He'll tell everybody all that happened before he dies. Come on. Before he dies the second time, right? No. Okay, guys, that's it. That's what I want to talk about. Paul lives. I used to have a button. There was a radio station. That button probably worth a lot of money these days. I don't have it anymore. There was a radio station on AM called WMCA. There was a rock station. They played rock and roll music. They played lots of Beatles music. When they came out for the conclusion that Paul McCartney was alive, they came out with a button. Paul lives, WMCA swings. I had that button. I bet you that button's worth thousands of dollars. I don't have it anymore. I think I gave it out for free. If you just called up or wrote a letter to them that you'd like to get the button, you send it to you. All right. So that's it, guys. That's my speech for today. Everyone have a wonderful day. We'll be seeing you. Okay, bye.